Welcome, everybody. I'm Brian Garvey. I'm here with Jason and Rikki for the series that focuses on answering real HubSpot Solution Partner and provider questions, fast and honest and unscripted. So let's dive in.
Cool. All right. This is such an important question. Actually, one I've heard many times over the years. Brian, I'll ask this one for you.
Yeah,
Can I trust my contractor with my clients?
great question. Actually, it's one we get a lot, right? We just had a community session on this, in fact. I think the first thing that I would say is, again, I think it's fair to say that partners do this, right? This is not some sort of exotic sort of solution. It's a huge unlock. It's common practice across a lot of partners to bring in help when you need it. Second, yes, it is. You can trust a contractor with your client. I think if you do it correctly, first, I think it's important that they be pre-vetted, right? You spend time with them, make sure you're bringing in the right contractor. And this is not a pitch for Profoundly, of course. We do vet everybody on the platform, but I think this is really about, if you're doing this, like, you should have a conversation with your contractor and make sure that you're bringing in the right people. They should be experienced, and they should align with your expectations. You should spend time with them. You should interview them, right? And like really interview them. Take the time to ask them about recent examples of work that they've done. One of the good pieces of advice we heard from an elite partner that we recently talked to was like, ask for examples. Ask for a time when they told a client no, and like really dive deep. Make sure that they really know what they're talking about. I think that's really important. Get customer referrals and so on. Then I also think it can be really helpful to start with like a small project, and cut your teeth on, something like that, just to build trust and so on. If that's what's right for you as the partner organization, I think it can be useful to, focus on projects in the beginning that have really clear scopes and really clear delivery expectations, and, really minimize surprises up front. And once you get in that rhythm, though, I think that it really works. Some of the best practices that we've heard from partners and providers and scaling organizations are like, when you bring in a contractor, it's not like set it and forget it. Like, have regular check-ins with them. Weekly, I think, is or bi-weekly is what we hear about a lot. And also continue to check in with the client, right? I don't think it's a matter of like, you just put the contractor on the customer and off they go. Like, stay in touch with the client, make sure that you're checking in with them regularly. That allows you to stay in control of the process throughout, and just make sure that things are staying on rails throughout the engagement. I think at the end of the day, trust is really built through process. If you vet well, if you scope clearly, and like do those things that I just talked about, interview them, stay in sync with everybody, bringing in a contractor can do wonders for the relationship and really not put it at risk.
I want to double down into a word you said there, which I think is really important, which is expectations. I think if you take the time to set expectations with the contractor, it goes a long way. So have some sort of onboarding process. Obviously, it's not the same as an employee, but at least take an hour, have a standard sort of slide deck that says what your expectations are. Like, we do or we don't want you to communicate with the client. And if you do, here's how we do it. We want you to put time and updates and whatever into this system, or we don't. If they're developing something, like, take the time to show them how you develop, and don't be surprised if you don't and they come back and it's hard coded instead of modularized or whatever. It's as much as you put into the relationship at the start. You, like anything, you get it out at the end and you save yourself time and pain further down the line.
Yeah.
And like I said, it doesn't have to be difficult. It's just a little bit of work up front. Take the hour call and set some good expectations.
Yeah, this is such an important question. I think people, HubSpot partners are, don't think twice about bringing in a contractor on the back end to do HubSpot technical work or dev. And for potentially lots of reasons, there can be some hesitation to bring in a contractor on the front end who's going to interact with clients. But the reality is, you've got to have this contingency available to you, right? Let's say you've got whatever, 3 or 4 people on your team who are client facing. Life happens. People have kids, people get sick, people have a parent who needs help, on and on. People take leaves on a regular basis. Stuff happens. And if you're the owner of a small partner and you are responsible for all of your client interactions, like you have a life. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen in your life, and you've got to have a contingency plan for who's going to handle the clients while you have to step away for a few weeks. Your business grinding to a halt isn't an option.